Real quick, you left a comment on this video and another mother left comments on the other video in relation to this topic. Children threatening to unalive themselves. More detail in the other two videos. I think it's a 3-part series anyway. I wanted to address this comment because I have an answer. What's good, y'all? LoneeAppleton. I am a healthy family advocate. If that is your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, sharing, reposting videos with your community so that our community can grow, as well as you feel compelled to please donate to the tip jar or shop our merch or shop our books. Our as in me. Thank you. All right, I'm not a professional. Move as you know to move for your family. But what came to me when I initially read her comment, because I read all the comments and now I'm working to respond timely now that they have that little woo-woo feature. But when I first read her comment, I really didn't have a response for her. I was like, damn, that's a tough spot to be in where your children are threatening to unalive themselves as a manipulation tool. And you can't stand still. You must react every time, because what if they're ever not using it as a manipulation tool? And so that is a terrible space to be in. So when I read it, I was like, I don't even know how to respond to that comment. Because how do you play that? Sometimes you believe them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're like, get out of here. Sometimes you're like, what can I do for you? Either way, they have you by the short and curlies. What came to me when I was reading these comments tonight was, when we do give them the attention, we're giving them the attention we think they need. And Bailey even said, why do people think giving people money is the answer? Like, one of Dre's friends talked to her about graduation. He was like, yeah, I got some money to send you. She was like, why is money the answer to everything? Because they have poisoned our brains to think that money is the answer to everything. And if they keep us away from money, then we will never have the answer to anything. So if we're not thinking for ourselves and we're not reaching our children, not from the place that we know to reach them from, but from the place that they need to be reached. Because they're vying for attention and they're getting the negative attention, but they don't care what kind of attention they're getting as long as they're getting attention. Have you asked your kid? Once I have started asking Angel, what do you need for us to love you? For you to feel loved, what do you need? Angel is just as happy as a clam. So for you two mothers, and to the mothers and fathers and parents and guardians who are not in the comment section but are watching this video and can pass this to others, know that you actually need to sit down with your kid and say, what do you need from me? You can no longer use this as a manipulation tool. I'm your mother. I'm your parent. I'm your guardian. But I'm speaking to the mothers who left the comments. I'm your mother and I love you. And I'm not sure what I demonstrated to you for you to believe that this is what you need for me to get to see you. Something in your brain has said, this is the extreme that I must go through in order for my parent to see me. But I want you to know that those days are behind us. I see you now. What do you need? Your kid's gonna say nothing in the beginning because they're not used to you talking to them like that. Because if they were, they would never be in the space where they have to threaten to unalive themselves to get your attention. They're going to say nothing. And you can say, you know what, that's fine if you're not comfortable and ready to speak to me on this level. But I'm letting you know that I'm eliminating the parent-child relationship. And I'm putting myself on equal ground with you. And I know that is so foreign to so many of us. It's foreign to me, it's foreign to Dre, and this is why this motherfucker's losing his mind. Because he has to actually have conversations with these kids. You can't just bully these kids into submission anymore. You actually have to figure out how to handle them. You know, Spirit just gave me, somebody's going to filtrate any of these things that I'm saying as worst case scenario. But you can look at any of my children, and if you draw any conclusion besides these children are loved, you need to. But for the rest of you who understand that abuse doesn't have to be all the way to the extreme of the spectrum for it to qualify as abuse. Abuse has an infancy. If we didn't overlook the infancy because 99% of us partake in the infancy, so it's okay. It's only when you're smacking a bitch up that it's a problem. But if you're getting down in your kid's face and saying, you little motherfucker, that's okay. I mean, we live in these kids' era. We can publicly say that. I remember when I used to say, I don't like kids. Other moms would be like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. And now we can say fuck these kids and it's okay. We can publicly say these kids, but we can't see how getting down on our children's level and getting to understand them, we can't see how that makes sense too. No, that doesn't make sense. I ain't bowing down to no child. Definitely gonna proudly post these kids. Ain't that something? That's the era we live in. So it's gonna be foreign to your child for you to ask them what they think. It's gonna be foreign to your child for them to trust that what they tell you is not going to come with a consequence. But once you get on equal ground with your children, you'll find that your children begin to open up. Your children will stop defying you. Your children will stop challenging you. They potentially will stop threatening to unalive themselves because they don't want it anymore. They kind of like it here. You know, so like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not a professional, and do what you feel is necessary for your children. But one thing I will say to contradict is you need to talk to your children too. God did not give you that child by mistake. And if you're experiencing something, you have, as within, so without, you have the tools within because you're given this task. You were given this child. Now for some, the God's gift was you having the ability and the resources to put your kid in therapy because you don't have it. But put your ass in therapy too so you can get it. Start doing the work, because sending your child to a stranger to talk about the intimate details of their life, and then when they get in front of you, they put their mask back on and you're okay with that. You can't be okay with that because you have your mask on too. But is this the relationship you want with your child? But trust and know, if you were given this task, you have also been given the tools to successfully complete the task. Don't leave your kid out there to figure this out, because they're going to choose the worst possible case scenario. You release the restrictions. You put yourself on the level with your child. And you start guiding them through this life instead of repressing them until you got to release them into this life, and then the world is fucked up. Why? Because it's a bunch of overgrown kids who never experienced nothing. My daughter has been booking her own doctor's appointments since she was 14 years old. Anything that she can handle on her own, she has handled on her own with me standing next to her, guiding her through it. And some mothers would judge me as being negligent. The real mothers out there know you are raising an adult, not a child. You are raising an adult. From the moment you push that baby out of your vagina, take a shot, you are teaching them how to survive this world in love and light. Peep this. Here's how you appreciate a personality like Dre. Like, our kids can't survive out there right now in love and light. So the black people looking at it like, damn, we yeah, y'all out. Yo, it just hit me. Where this world is going, you're going to have to be spiritually evolved and for these streets. You got to be both. Because think about it. We're the chosen people. We're the oldest people on this earth. Blah, 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 all past videos, read your Bible, whatever you want to do. Please don't get your Bibleisms according to Lonnie. It's going to be halfway flipped backwards and saying half of the right stuff. That ain't what you want. Go find your own truth, however you seek it. But anyway, what I just picked up was we have been oppressed to the degree that we have been oppressed because it's something that needs to be coded into our DNA. There's no accidents. There's no coincidences. So why do we hate our history? Not hate it, but we complain about it. Why? Because if there's no accidents, we went through exactly what we went through historically for a purpose. And now we're going through the spiritual enlightenment and the all things. We need all of those things in order to go where this world is going. And it's coded in our motherfucking DNA. Check motherfucking me.